comment that was made about that memo and by a member of that House Intel Committee, and I quote, "It was meant only to give Republican House members a distorted view of the FBI," end quote. I find it so interesting. They use the term distorted view. I think the American people who for 4 years under Biden saw the FBI weaponized against them, against parents, against people of faith, weaponized against President Trump. I think they would disagree with that. Do you stand by the good work that you did on the Nunes memo?
Our team, and yes, absolutely.
And the Nunes memo was accurate in its description of the details, correct?
As confirmed by the Inspector General, the Special Counsel, because the Nunes memo only contained sworn information received pursuant to transcribed interviews and production of government materials, including FBI 302s and DOJ memoranda.
So the Nunes memo is accurate.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you for that. In your new role as director, how will you work to root out 2 tiers of justice at the FBI?
The same way I have always done so, ma'am, with the utmost fidelity to the Constitution and integrity to law enforcement. Government must allow those who are privileged to serve to execute their law enforcement duties fully, but at the same time, the American people deserve accountability inwards to government to any of those who violate that sacred trust.
And as you prepare to take this new role, what are the top areas of concern for you as we look at our national security?
The top areas when it comes to national security, ma'am, have remained unchanged and the threat dynamic has increased. It's thwarting terrorist activities and terrorist attacks here and overseas against our citizens and our allies. And it also includes CCP espionage, which is running rampant these last 5 years through our country, including our cyber infrastructure and our agricultural properties. And it also includes taking on Iran, the #1 state sponsor of terror, and any other adversary that wishes to harm America.
Thank you. I look forward to a yes vote on your confirmation.
Thank you,
Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman. Yes. Since the senator from Tennessee raised my name, I'd like to respond. Please go ahead. Mr. Chairman, while I was chair of the committee protecting children from sexual exploitation was one of our highest priorities. We chaired hearings on kids' online safety, and we decided on a bipartisan basis to call the big tech CEOs in for an important, maybe historic meeting of this committee. Last year, the committee reported 6 bipartisan bills to help protect child safety online, including one of my own, Stop CSAM, and Senator Blackburn's Report Act. In the previous Congress, Senator Blackburn and I led legislation that was signed into law and eliminated statutes of limitation for federal civil suits by survivors of childhood sex abuse. I've worked to ensure the DOJ's unethical non-prosecution agreement with Jeffrey Epstein is investigated. As I've argued in this committee, my Inspector General Access Act would allow the Inspector General to investigate that. And yet, in 2023, I was falsely accused of preventing releasing the names of Jeffrey Epstein's network by Mr. Patel. When my Republican colleagues prevented Senator Blackburn from offering an amendment to the flight logs. Prior to the committee's November 9th, 2023 Supreme Court ethics subpoena's markup, Senator Blackburn had never raised Epstein's flight logs with me publicly or privately. During the November 30th, 2023 Supreme Court ethics subpoena authorization markup, I tried to recognize her multiple times, but there was an effort to close down the committee before any further business moved forward on the Republican side. Many Epstein records, including flight logs, have been public for years. My office subsequently reached out to hers to try to identify what record she was actually seeking. We did not receive a response.
Mr. Chairman, if I may respond to Chairman Durbin. I had raised the issue with Chairman Durbin. I had raised it on the floor that we wanted to get these records. And then during that hearing that you're recognizing, sir, or that you're mentioning, I sought recognition. It was not my Republican colleagues that ended that hearing. Mr. Chairman, you had the gavel, and you were the chairman, and you sought not to recognize me, and I know And you know, and so many people are aware, sir, that you and Christopher Ray did not want those out. And I know we need to move on for questions, but Mr. Chairman, we have fought this issue for quite some time. I look forward to having an FBI that will work to help get these records and end this human and sex trafficking in this country.
15 seconds.
Yes, go ahead.
The senator from Tennessee knows what the 2-hour rule is. 2-hour rule takes the gavel out of the chairman's hands, and that was what was being executed when you were seeking recognition and being executed by your side of the aisle.
Senator Padilla.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Colleagues, as we know, it's not just the nominee for FBI director that's before us today, but there's been a lot of chaos and confusion this week in regards to executive orders that have been issued as it pertains to the federal budget, federal spending, hiring freezes, etc.
It appears Trump just gave Obama the final warning. He's done with the silence in the gangs and the traitors walking free while America burns. But what came after that warning? A storm. From Tulsi, from the Patriots, from a black man who snapped in a way that'll definitely leave you speechless. Think, don't blink. That's what they don't want you to hear.
The witch hunt that you should be talking about is they caught President Obama absolutely cold, Tulsi Gabbard. What they did to this country in 2016, starting in 2016, but going up all the way going up to 2020 of the election. And they tried to rig the election, and they got caught. And there should be very severe consequences for that. You know, when we caught Hillary Clinton, I said, you know what? Let's not go too far here. It's the ex-wife of a president, and I thought it was sort of terrible. I let her off the hook, and I'm very happy I did. But it's time to start after what they did to me, and whether it's right or wrong, it's time to go after people. Obama's been caught directly. So people say, oh, you know, a group. It's not a group. It's Obama. His orders are on the paper. The papers are signed. The papers came right out of their office. They sent everything to be highly classified. Well, the highly classified's been released. And what they did in 2016 and in 2020 is very criminal. It's criminal at the highest level. So that's really the things you should be talking.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Obama built his legacy. Someone like a fortress, protected by media, praised by the elite, and ultimately untouchable to the truth.
My friend, I asked for favors best, and here you are. These Armenian gangsters have been up my ass lately, so I need all the protection I can get. I expect only greatness from you, so do not fuck this up.
The strategist, he's calling out the man who sat in the Oval Office. Well, set the stage for everything that followed. And he's saying the era of immunity is over. He posted Obama himself manufactured the Russia hours. But the enemy was simply jealous, and numerous others participated in this. The crime was the century, irrefutable evidence, a major threat to our country, he says. Yep. Obama was the crime of the century now. Don't put the crime of the century without watching everyone move and expose it. Inspired with Trump, and weaponized intel, big people target you, then I would just say that you have to be paying attention. There's the photo that followed with it. Also with the caption, arrested treason is life. You know what? I've dealt with this person. You know, scammers, if you will. Hold up. If you're getting spam calls and random weird text messages out of nowhere, it's probably not random. And it used to happen to me all the time. And look, I run a whole YouTube channel. What I didn't know is my information was already out there. These data broker sites literally had my full name, old passwords at the Obama corrected officials team already discredited Intel. Yeah, this was cool. I'll never be lying in the prison video, right? No, check this out.
from former President Obama there. He's saying that none of this makes any sense, that this is a distraction. What do you say to that?
It's the art of deflection coming from former President Obama, as well as his friends who are still in Congress today, and Senator Warner and Congressman Jim Hines, really all basically saying that exact same statement, which doesn't actually address the issue that was revealed in great detail in the over 100 documents that we released last week, and the documents that we will be releasing later this week, that point to the undeniable fact that you laid out in your introduction to this segment, is that the intelligence community had one assessment, that Russia did not have the intent or capability to try to impact the outcome of the U.S. election leading up to Election Day. The same assessment was made after Donald Trump was elected by the American people as president in 2016, defeating Hillary Clinton. And it wasn't until after that pulled President's Daily Brief document that you referenced that the Principals Committee was called in the National Security Council, and President Obama then directed Obama's DNI James Clapper to lead the effort to create this new intelligence community assessment that detailed not if, but how Moscow attempted to influence the outcome of the U.S. election. So this is the thing that I think people should pay attention to, is neither the message from President Obama's office, neither the statements coming from Democrats in Congress today and their friends in the propaganda media, none of them are addressing this fact that there was a shift, a 180-degree shift from the intelligence community's assessment leading up to the election to the one that President Obama directed be produced after Donald Trump won the election, that completely contradicted those assessments that had come previously. The second thing I want to address that's very important, Lauren, is that you in the clip that you played, you saw John Brennan, James Clapper, James Comey stated with high confidence this January intelligence community assessment that they drafted at the direction of President Obama. The fact is that they used already discredited information like the Steele dossier. They knew it was discredited at that time, yet they used it as a source for this document that they claim to have high confidence in. They used intelligence that some of these intelligence community professionals rejected previously because of the lack of credibility and the lack of the ability to vet with any kind of confidence whether or not that information or intelligence was accurate and could be used for an assessment. There is a long laundry list of facts and intelligence reporting that directly contradict the statement coming from President Obama's office and those who are trying to deflect away from what actually happened, which was after Donald Trump was elected, and led by President Obama, there was an effort to create a document that would serve as a foundation for what would be a years-long coup against President Trump, therefore trying to subvert the will of the American people who sent him to the White House in 2016. But it's
No, when you rewrite intelligence to get the outcome you want, that's obviously not leadership. It's what the left always wanted. That's dictatorship, but with a Harvard smile, if you will. That's what that role established. With Obama at the top, when the strain was fake intel, while pretending to protect democracy. Never about truth. What I always say all this about, I think I have an empty word for it right now. But it's always about control stuff. But Thirsty Tulsi expands and says she's releasing something about
we will be releasing further documents tomorrow that will refute that statement. And I would go back and point to, and we will be pulling a whole host of statements that were made by the Obama administration, by Hillary Clinton, by senior Democrat officials, by their friends in the media that state over and over again, after this January 2017 manufactured intelligence document was created, that repeat the narrative. And I'm looking at my notes here. New York Times says Russian hackers acted to aid Trump in the election. Obama's CIA Director John Brennan says there was strong consensus among us to support the CIA claim Russian hackers aided Donald Trump's election. Hillary Clinton said, "I would be president if not for the Russian hackers supporting Donald Trump. So there is a vast body of evidence and intelligence that debunks and refutes this statement you've just read and others coming from some of the Democrat leaders in Congress today.
So just a rebuttal, man. That's receipts. Obama's entire defense is falling apart. Check this out. He posted right here said about Hussein Obama funding issued a rare official response to Trump and being a social gaffer. It's very telling. Let me see if I can make this out real quick. See. Going this way. Bring out here. Oh, well, I'm gonna read it to y'all. This video. It says in the months leading up to the November 2016 the intelligence community IC consistently assessed that Russia is probably not lying to influence the move by using cyber means. On December 7th, 2016, after the listen, I know you're listening to it and going, oh my God, why does he keep saying that? Yada yada. Look, I've been demonetized a lot of times, so I have to. You know what I mean? Sure, see other people on the channel saying, but hey, it is what it is. I'm just trying to talk to you. So, back to what I'm saying, I'll start back. On December 7th, 2016, after the move, talking points were prepared for DNI James, Clapper State foreign adversaries did not use cyber attacks on infrastructure to alter the U.S. presidential outcome. On December 9th, 2016, President Obama's White House gathered top national security principals for a meeting that included James Clapper, John Brennan, Bryce, John Kelly, Loretta Lynch, Andrew McCabe, and others to discuss Russia. After the meeting, DNI Clapper's executive assistant sent an email to IC leaders tasking them with the creation of a new IC assessment for the president's request. That details the tools Moscow and actions it took to influence the president's outcome. It went on to say, OD&I will lead this effort with participation from CIA, FBI, NSA, and DHS. Obama officials leaked false statements to the media outlets, including the Washington Post claiming Russia attempted through cyber means and the fair actively influenced the outcome of the, And in 2017, the new intelligence community assessment was released that directly contradicted the IC statements that were made. So, what's this response though? Trump said it plenty of them. Then Obama said, okay, nothing in the Tulsi. This is what Obama said. Okay, got it. Nothing in the Tulsi document. Nothing in the Tulsi Gabbard release document undercuts the narrative that Russia worked to influence the presidential outcome, but did not successfully manipulate any votes. Did you see it? They were shifting the goalposts. If it's true that Obama and his intel state did decide that Russia was using cyber activity to influence the presidential outcome for Trump would be correct, along with Tulsi Gabbard and saying that this is treasonous conspiracy. It's a tactic admission. Yeah, because some don't know that the documents don't have to stand and Tulsi never clear. There's more coming. And this is just the beginning.
And don't tell me that that's too far. The precedent has been set. I can show you Donald Trump's mugshot. The second the communists took power, they had Donald Trump arrested in every jurisdiction in the United States of America. They tried to blow his head off and send him to prison for 90 years. So don't tell me former presidents are untouchable. No, sir. The President of the United States of America put the books on his orders of intelligence in order to create a false narrative about the incoming president who was about to be sworn in. He used the Central Intelligence Agency like it was the DNC. He used the FBI like it was the DNC. He used the DNI like it was the DNC. Politicking with his office. That is a crime so severe, Barack Obama should never see the light of day again. He deserves a trial, a fair trial, a public trial, because that's what the American people deserve, and then he deserves to go to prison for the rest of his natural life. And not just because I hate him, but because the next time we get a scumbag like that in the Oval Office, he has to look at Barack Obama running in Fort Leavenworth and say to himself, well, I guess the CIA probably isn't my political arm, so maybe I should back off of that. This moment, I'm not just saying this for radio purposes, it's everything for this country. I do not believe we can hold the United States of America together if these people don't go to prison. Because the American people do not believe in their institutions anymore. That ship has already sailed. And in order to earn back institutional trust, there is only one thing that works. If not two, there's only one. Accountability.
Amen to that. It's a lot they told us for years. Once you leave office, you're off limits.
Come on over.
Y'all know who he's.
Okay. A few bits got damaged,
When
but
you stay in power through manipulation, you don't get to retire with a podcast and a Netflix deal. You get a drop. Because of Trump had done half of this.
shit, they're back?
Come on, they done locked him up for life. What makes Obama different? I guess. Nothing but the lies, right?
Closing up to Russia? Somebody calling him right. It's central foreign principle in foreign policy was the fight against communism and the closing up to the foreign actively blocking legislation that would defend the nations from Russian attack plan seemed utterly unwilling. It's find the backbone to safeguard the institutions that make our democracy work. I'm here to tell you that you should still be concerned with our principles and should still want to see a restoration of honesty and decency and lawfulness in our government.
Man, shut the fuck up.
It should not be partisan. To say that we do not pressure the Attorney General or the FBI to use the criminal justice system as a tool to punish our political opponents.
And shut your lying ass up. You lying.
Those invested in the politics of fear and division will work. We'll do anything to hang on to their recent gains. They want to keep us divided and keep us angry and keep us cynical because that helps them make the status quo and keep their power and keep their privilege. In the end, the threat to our democracy doesn't just come from Donald Trump or bad Republicans in Congress or Koch brothers or their lobbyists or too much compromise from Democrats or Russian hacking. The biggest threat to our democracy is the difference.
One of the reasons see conference if I did hear. That woman says he looked right at the camera knowing full well they did all of it. Saying, quote, he actually accused Trump of using the FBI to go after political opponents. Unbelievable. I mean, and that's the kind of our associates supposed to make a real Obama's on stage, warning us about the very danger he manufactured. He knew the dossier was fake. He knew the assessments were flawed.
I was just informed that you had some minor disruption. But of course, I knew you could deal with it. The next leg of the journey will hopefully be less eventful. Well done, my friend.
This man reading along to the play that he directed.
Let me get just a quick moment of your time for a rant. It is necessary, and I have to get this out. What I'm going to say is going to offend a lot of people. Some of you will quit watching my channel because of it. If that's the case, I understand. This needs to be said. This has to do with everything that Barack Obama took it upon himself to say to black men recently in an interview with his wife. There is somebody behind the scenes who believes that the former president is a mentor or a daddy voice or someone that black men look up to. First of all, let me disabuse that person of that idea. Barack Obama is not our daddy. He is not somebody that we admire. He is not somebody that we seek out his opinion to help guide us through the difficulties of this life. Not even close. This week, the former president took it upon himself to suggest that black boys don't just need a father in their life. Having a father is not enough. Somehow, they need the presence of a gay man to help guide them, to help them understand the world, to help them understand their fathers. That is insane. It's insane. So in case the former president is wondering, sir, we do not need your advice. We do not seek your opinion. This is above your pay grade. And you have no idea what you're talking about. In reality, there are elements in this society that have been at war with black people, in particular black men, for the better part of a couple of centuries. Apparently, the former president is one of those elements. Telling black boys that their dad is not enough, that they don't need him, it's a shame. It's a disgrace. It's a crime. Pretending and perpetrating as if you're helping people when actually you're giving them the worst possible moral advice, the worst spiritual advice, the worst practical advice is simply evil. Mr. Former President, stand down. You were not requested. You were not invited. Your opinion holds no weight. It holds no value, and we do not hear you as you were.
Hi, what do you need? Yep, sure.
We probably couldn't go more. Obama would said a generation of broken homes, that the fathers fighting to raise sons in the system he helped break and says you're not enough. No, man, we got everything. We've been on showing up in courtrooms, classrooms, living rooms, while Obama pushed policy that crushed our community. And now he wants us to rewrite fatherhood too? I wasn't just insulting, man. That seems rather strategic. You know, it's like it was meant to undermine the last form of order they couldn't regulate. The black family. But this man didn't let it slide. He snapped. And he said what millions of us have felt for years. You're not our daddy. You're not our savior. And most importantly, you're not even woven to this conversation anymore. Like, where did you even go from? Oh, that's true. Same thing. From Gay, good morning. Tosi, all the proof. Jesse demanded the trial. And the black man, Gonzalez. Obama didn't just lose his shield, he lost the people who once gave him grace. This isn't about party lines anymore. It's about truth versus illusion. Fathers first.
Truth versus the illusion. It's time for you to realize who's behind the hood. In order for you to realize that, you gotta be thinking for yourself. I'm just saying that because we all been programmed to be stupid. We've literally been taught. We've literally been taught to be stupid, not just programmed. Taught, meaning that the shit's still going on, the program's still going on. As long as you keep holding on to the non-belief, to the make-believe nonsense bullshit, you're gonna continue down the road of being just that, a bunch of bullshit. What they taught you to be. All of a sudden, you now realize who you are. Understand? Sooner or later, you gotta realize who's running the game on who. You got to. Sooner or later, you got to realize that. That's one realization.